Hey everyone, and welcome back. For today's deep dive, we're going to be looking at something I bet you've never thought much about.
Really?
Yeah, it's something that you probably see every single day and maybe even use more than once a day.
Let me think. Is it air?
Good guess, but nope, it's glass.
Glass. Wow, you're right. I never really stopped to think about it.
I know, right?
Mm.
But once you start thinking about it, it's actually super interesting.
Hmm.
So today, we're going to explore what glass actually is, how people make it, and how it's been used throughout history. So to start us off, why don't you think about your own experiences with glass? Like, what are some things you can think of that are made of glass?
Well, the first thing that pops into my head is windows. I mean, can you imagine a world without windows?
Right. And what about drinking glasses? Or maybe a magnifying glass if you're feeling extra scientific.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And telescopes and microscopes, they all use glass lenses to help us see things that are really far away or really tiny.
Exactly. So we know glass is used for a bunch of different things, but what actually is glass? It's not like a rock or a piece of wood, right?
You're right. It's definitely different. It's actually a solid, but it forms in a totally unique way. You see, glass starts out as sand.
Wait, really? The same sand we find on beaches?
Yep. It's mostly made from a special kind of sand called silica. But here's the cool part. When you heat sand to super duper high temperatures, like really high, it melts into a liquid.
Kind of like when ice cream melts on a hot day.
Yep, you got it. And just like melted ice cream hardens back up in the freezer, molten sand solidifies as it cools down and turns into glass.
Okay, that makes sense. But if both sand and glass are solid, why can we see through glass but not through sand?
Ha! That's where things get really interesting. To understand that, we need to zoom in, way in, to the teeny tiny particles that make up everything around us. These particles are called molecules, and they're so small you can't even see them with a magnifying glass.
Oh, that's tiny.
It is. Now, in most solids, like a rock or a piece of wood, these molecules are arranged in a neat and orderly pattern. Imagine soldiers all standing in perfect formation.
Ooh, I get it. Like they're all lined up in straight rows.
Exactly. But when sand melts and cools down really fast to form glass, its molecules don't have time to arrange themselves all nice and neat. They get jumbled up, kind of like a playground full of kids running around.
So it's like a frozen game of tag, where the molecules are forever stuck in mid-run. And because they're all jumbled up, light can pass through them easily, which is why glass is transparent.
You got it. That's a fantastic way to visualize it.
So how did people even figure out how to make glass in the first place? Was it like a science experiment gone right?
Well, we don't know for sure, but it might have been an accident. Imagine people thousands of years ago, maybe in ancient Mesopotamia or Egypt, experimenting with different materials and fire. They might have accidentally discovered that heating sand could transform it into this new, amazing material.
So glass was an accidental invention. That's so cool.
It very well could have been. And from those humble beginnings, glassmaking evolved over centuries. What started as simple beads and containers eventually transformed into beautiful vessels, intricate jewelry, and even those magnificent stained glass windows you see in cathedrals.
Speaking of beautiful things, I've always thought it was cool how the word vitreous comes from the Latin word vitrum, which means glass.
Yes. Language often reflects our understanding of the world, and in this case, it shows how people have been fascinated by glass for centuries. And as our scientific understanding of glass grew, so did our ability to use it in new and innovative ways. Think about the lenses in telescopes, which let us peer into the vast universe, or microscopes, which help us see the tiniest building blocks of life.
And we can't forget about fiber optic cables. Those thin strands of glass carry information as light pulses, making our internet and phones work.
Exactly. They transmit information at incredible speeds, almost as fast as light itself. It's amazing to think that glass, which started as simple sand, is now a key part of our modern world.
I know. From windows and bottles to all sorts of cutting-edge technology, it's everywhere. It really is amazing how something so simple can be so versatile and important.
It really is. The next time you see something made of glass, remember the journey it took. From sand to this incredible material. Think about its history, its unique structure, and all the amazing ways it impacts our lives.
And who knows? Maybe one day you'll be the one to invent a new type of glass. Maybe it'll be even stronger, even more transparent, or even have special properties that we haven't even imagined yet.
The possibilities are endless.
So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never lose that curiosity. There's a whole world of amazing discoveries out there just waiting to be made. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of glass.
Until next time.
Bye.
See ya!